My name is Margaret Collins. Last winter, at 68 years old, I buried the only man I had ever loved for 50 years. We woke up beside each other, shared every meal, raised our children, built a small life that meant everything to us. Then one cold December morning, I held his hand for the last time. For almost 1 year, I stopped living. I only existed. But one unexpected moment changed everything. If you're hurting today, please stay with me, because hope can return, even after goodbye. My name is Margaret Collins. Last winter, at 68 years old, I buried the only man I had ever loved for 50 years. We woke up beside each other, shared every meal, raised our children, built a small life that meant everything to us. Then one cold December morning, I held his hand for the last time. For almost 1 year, I stopped living. I only existed. But one unexpected moment changed everything. If you're hurting today, please stay with me, because hope can return, even after goodbye. The first morning after the funeral, the house was silent. No kettle boiling, no newspaper opening, no familiar footsteps, only silence. His slippers were still beside the bed. His glasses were still on the kitchen table. His favorite blue sweater still hung by the front door. I couldn't move them. Every object felt alive. People kept telling me, "You're strong. You'll be okay. Time heals." But nobody saw what happened after they left. I would sit in his chair, holding one of his old shirts, breathing in the last scent that reminded me of him. I stopped answering my phone. Friends invited me for tea. I always said no. Even my children worried. "Mom, please come stay with us." But I couldn't, because leaving our home felt like leaving him. The nights were the worst. I'd wake up reaching across the bed, expecting to feel his hand. Instead, there was only an empty pillow. Sometimes I forgot he was gone. For one tiny second, life felt normal. Then reality returned, like a knife. I stopped gardening, stopped baking, stopped smiling. Food lost its taste. Music hurt too much. Television became nothing but noise. Every mirror showed someone I no longer recognized. Not a wife, not a partner, just a lonely old woman waiting for tomorrow to end. 1 year passed, and I realized I wasn't healing. I was hiding. Everything changed because of one little girl. I was sitting alone on a park bench, watching people live the life I thought I'd lost forever. A small girl, maybe 7 years old, walked over carrying a loaf of bread. She smiled. "Would you help me feed the ducks?" I almost said no. Then she grabbed my hand, without waiting for an answer. For 15 minutes, we laughed, fed ducks, watched them chase each other across the lake. When her grandmother arrived, the little girl hugged me. She whispered, "You look happier now." I cried all the way home, not because I was sad, because for the first time in months, someone had seen me, not as a widow, not as an old woman, just another human being. That evening, I opened every curtain in the house. The next morning, I made my bed. The morning after that, I watered my forgotten flowers. Then I did something I never thought possible. I joined a local community center. At first, I only listened. Then I started talking, then laughing, then living, little by little. The woman I thought had disappeared started coming back. Not the same woman, a stronger one. Lesson: the 3 things that saved me. People often ask, "What helped you survive?" The answer wasn't one miracle. It was 3 simple things. Number 1, routine. Every morning, I got dressed, made tea, walked outside, even when I didn't want to. Healing begins with the smallest habits, not giant steps, tiny ones. Number 2, talking to someone. For months, I believed crying was weakness. Then one afternoon, I spoke to another widow. She understood every sentence without me explaining. That conversation healed more than months of silence ever could. You don't have to carry grief alone. Number 3, helping others. I started reading stories to children at our local library. I baked cakes for neighbors, visited lonely people in care homes, and something incredible happened. The more love I gave, the more life returned to me. Grief never disappeared, but purpose grew bigger than pain. Today, I still miss my husband every single day. I always will. But now, when I think of him, I smile more than I cry, because I know he would never have wanted my story to end with sadness. If you're watching this today and you've lost someone you love, please hear me. You are not broken. You are grieving. Those are not the same thing. There will be mornings when getting out of bed feels impossible. Take one step anyway. There will be days when the world feels empty. Keep walking anyway. Because healing doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives quietly. One sunrise, one conversation, one smile, one small victory at a time. I once believed my life ended at 68. Today, I know it simply became a different chapter. A chapter filled with hope, friendship, purpose, and gratitude. If you're hurting, I want you to remember one sentence. You will be okay. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day, you'll smile again. You'll laugh again. You'll live again. One day at a time. And if this story gave you even a little hope, please share it with someone who needs to hear these words today.